Growing up, one of the biggest lessons I had learned from my Reverend Mary from the Universal Truth Center back out in Miami, Florida. Rest in peace. She said that heaven and hell, you know, is on earth. Um, it's in your mind. A lot of times when we think about the perception of hell, we look at hell as eternal flames. Um, but hell is also discouragement. Hell is also self doubt. Hell is also you. Hell is also contentment. Hell is also malice and poverty, scarcity. You feel what I'm saying? And so I've been so I come to understand that a lot of times we create our own heaven and hell with our own thoughts. And we can continue to choose to focus and permeate on whatever issues, situations that we may be going through in our life, and you are justified in feeling like, you know, it's the absolute worst. It's the worst of the worst. But the perspective shift is you have nowhere to go but up. Even when I found myself, I was living out in Henderson, North Carolina, man, and that was probably some of the toughest times in my life where I just graduated after college. I got my first job, and going through those relationships at the time that I was going through, and just being on my own, pretty much just being on my own for the very first time, and not really understanding how the world really works. And I learned a lot of lessons during that time. And you know during that time is when I also made the decision to I bought my first Mac laptop. I bought like a little 300 setup, Pro Tools 1. I had a Audio Technica 2020. Um, and yeah, man, and I found some foam in the trash and I put it up on my wall. If I find a picture, I'm gonna post that picture. But I put some foam, and I took that foam and I put it up on the wall, and I just started making music. I just started giving myself the a shot. Just started giving myself the opportunity to figure out how to go about um, making songs. In college and stuff like that. Me, Benny, Horace, Wes, Kwame, Wizzle, man, all locked in on music, and you know just having a community with those guys, and seeing how proficient they were at their pen, and Horace fire on the hooks, and just man, all the people that I've come in contact with over the course of just my life from a musical standpoint, at South Carolina State, Mitch, to man, it's so many names I can't think of them all, but uh Chris, Trail, Emil, yeah, man, it's just Tim, like the Joe, Ronald, like all these guys, man, that I've come in contact with over the course of my life with some type of like musical musicality in a sense, has really helped me and shaped me in terms of my willingness. I started when I really took the decision to say, hey, I want to take music seriously was 2013. I came out with my first mixtape in 2015, Minister Society, and then my first like Apple Music release was Come Back to Me in 2016. And so going through all that I went through in North Carolina, and then those relationships during those times, the residual of the relationships that I was still entertaining from college and stuff like that, still learning myself, understanding how the world works, figuring out all this stuff in real time. You know what I mean? Yeah, very, very, very challenging times, and I'm grateful to come out of that. You know, I'm grateful to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm grateful to create my way out of hell, and that's what it felt like at the time, man. And so my perspective now is that, man, how far I've come from that shotgun, my very first shotgun apartment in Henderson, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? To now being able to have, you know, my own space dedicated specifically and solely for creation, and the ability to want to continue to nurture those ideas, to continue to want to give time, attention, and effort. And so to any creators out there that may be feeling this very lonely path of artistry, when it really isn't, man, the community of art, man, is really a beautiful place, right? It's really a beautiful place to where you have others creatives that understand and get and resonate with exactly what you're going through from an artistic and or creative standpoint. When sometimes you may feel like, you know, you may permeate on a song for a year, you may permeate on a song for 6 months, you may leave it and come back, or when you're dealing with a piece of artwork and you want to completely just trash it and start all the way over, like the all the community is a beautiful space. And so, you know, I make these videos not to boast or brag about myself, but to let anyone else out there know that, you know, whatever it is that you may be going through and enduring from an artistic and or creative standpoint, where your situations may not deem you the opportunity to fully ingratiate yourself in your art, you know what I mean? It's also like a form of therapy. You know, it's also a form of um, getting you to where you eventually want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because your willingness to show up for yourself in an artistic pursuit is the win. You know what I mean? Is the gift, is the blessing. And so the more we focus on giving ourselves the space to live in that with whatever time that God has given us, man, it's on us to continue to nurture that. And so the blessing isn't necessarily the issues, excuse me, the issue isn't necessarily the circumstances, but the blessing is the willingness and ability to be able to create. And so whatever that looks like from for you, whatever your medium may be, it may be poetry, it may be drawing, it may be painting, it may be music, it may be, you know, production, it may be, you know, thing all these different mediums that you can use to just express yourself. And, you know, I used to get so focused on the outcome of what it is that I'm doing that it'll start to take away from what it is that I'm actually doing. And so the more we continue to not focus on the distractions that go on around us, from the world, from the our own lives, from social media, the lives of other people, of feeling as if like other people are further along in the same path and or journey that we seem to be seemingly adjacent to, that's all noise. You find what I'm saying? And so if you feeling like you're not where exactly you want to be at in terms of your creative pursuits, your job, your focus, your attention needs to be on creating your way out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's where, you know, one of the things I hear all the time is like, it took me my whole life to make my very first album. Like each project that I put out, each song that I put out, each time that I've given more effort and more effort, it's only gotten better. And that is the goal. That is the focus. I only want to get better at this thing. And so the more I learn about myself allows me space to not be so forceful and controlled over what I want, but what the music or what the art calls for. And so, you know, as creatives, as artists, man, our focus should be on creating what God gives us, creating from a space with what we have, using the resources and tools that we have. And now me pulling up to a park with just me and my phone allows me to just connect with hundreds of thousands of millions of people if seen fit. And so, the I send you this message to let you know that you're not alone, that you are seen, you are loved, and I want to provide you space to know that no matter where you are in your creative journey, that it's okay to continue to keep going despite the noise. Don't let the distractions, don't let what people don't let people's lack of support, don't let people's any of that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to focus on why you're doing it. If you're doing this from a place of love, you're doing this from a place of integrity, you're doing this from a place of like, I really care, love, and appreciate the ability to create. That's it. Focus on that, and it'll reward you for sure. And so, again, my name is Mark Clark. For those who don't know, I'm sending you love out there on your journey. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. New music on the way, bro. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but new music is truly on the way. Me and my brother Mitch, man, we've been working on this project for about to be 2 years at this point, and you know, to be able to watch him and see how much he's given and sacrificed and dedicated to his craft, man, how could I not want to give my best effort in terms of the presentation? How could I not want to give my best in terms of the art? You know what I'm saying? And so, we detaching from the outcomes and we just allowing things to be, because at the end of the day, it'll live beyond this video, it'll live beyond me. And so my goal at the end of the day is to show that I existed here, and and as much of a blip as I am in this world, as you are, as we all are, man. If I've made an impact on 5 people, on 2 people, on one person, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy with being called home. And so, not right now, God, but I ain't gonna put that on me. But you know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to be able to just be, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sending you love. I'm sending you love, man. And when y'all, I really want y'all to take this in, because with what Mitch and I've been doing, man, is really painting painting with sounds. You know what I'm saying? Really creating, turning words and sounds into pictures. You know what I'm saying? That you can only see in your mind. So yeah, bro, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I really am excited about kind of like this next chapter of life. These next songs that are coming out, really near and dear. And so yeah, man. All right, I'm rambling. All right, I gotta go. Love y'all. Peace.